there's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father.
Man, this stuff rocks.
What's up, everybody? This is Clay Deters from The Issue, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to welcome Mr. Clay Deters of The Issue. The Issue have released their third single and video entitled Fallin, which is out now. Also, check out their previous singles, You and What You Need, and they got an EP that's out right now too. You want to check that out. And I really like the song from you guys entitled Moving On. I know that's an old one, but that's a good one. Oldie but a goodie, as I call them.
Thank you, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
So how you been doing so far, man, with all this pandemic and hopefully seeing a little bit of light at the end of this tunnel? How you been doing through all this?
We're all hanging in there. It's been an interesting couple of years, to say the least, but just trying to do the best we can do and keep moving forward as a band through it all.
How excited are you to have these singles released in this crazy time right now? Because some just packed it up and some just still keep pouring it out, man.
Well, it was just, it was nice to find a way to stay busy for one, and just kind of keep your mind off things. What better way to keep your mind off what's going on than writing and recording some new material as a band. So yeah, it was just nice to keep kind of doing our thing as far as the studio goes. Unfortunately, it was a big hit on live performances and certain aspects as a band, but fortunately everybody was comfortable enough with getting together and recording some tunes, so we tried to do that as much as we were allowed to.
Has this allowed you guys to have extra time to create more music for an upcoming EP or another full length down the road?
Well, we're always trying to write new material, but it was it made writing new material certainly a focal point for, what we were doing the past couple of years. And it kind of was a little bit of a reason for us to kind of take a step back and maybe, reevaluate, how we're doing things online, and making sure that we're staying hip to whatever's going on online and staying, somewhat in front of people that way. So yeah, we made sure that when we were doing, these new tunes that we were kind of, figuring out ways to get some music videos and stuff like that together for content on our YouTube channel.
Would you say, Clay, it's an even playing field right now for local bands, especially taking advantage of this and putting new music out and putting your stuff on YouTube and Twitch and things like that? Do you think that it's an even playing field now, or do you think it's more oversaturated?
Well, I mean, I guess it could really go both ways. As far as it being an even playing field, I think it's not so much like an even playing field for, smaller local bands. I think it's an even playing field across the board, with, us being able to, compete in a sense with, big label bands and stuff like that, because when nobody can play shows, it's just down to the internet, and the internet is open access. So, as far as that goes, it kind of leveled the playing field. But then again, at the same time, everybody's funneled down to just the internet. So what's everybody doing? They're putting out music, putting out content, now everybody's doing it. So I mean, it might have leveled the playing field, but it also made, the playing field that much bigger.
Yeah, that's true. And plus, you gotta adapt. And if you're not one of these big
That's right.
bands that, are making money still to this day, and the pandemic didn't hurt you all that much, those who had to adapt, it's a new world for those folks who never had to do this before.
Well, it's certainly tough for, smaller bands who rely heavily on live performances and making money that way, playing shows and selling merchandise at shows. When you're established, you make your, so-called mailbox money from Spotify and whatever else. But when you're a smaller band, you just don't make that income off of streaming and stuff. And, YouTube, if you can establish a somewhat solid YouTube channel and put out decent content that people want to, check out, that's another way to streamline a little bit of revenue. But again, it still doesn't replace what you get from, playing shows and selling merch at those shows.
It shocked me that when I saw you guys' YouTube page, you had 200 and some subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, or did I read that wrong? It was
No, I think we have 280 some, 290 some, something like that.
It's crazy. You also have more than that. Go subscribe, fucker.
You know what? It's crazy. We've been talking about it a lot recently, how easy it is to get somebody to follow you or like stuff on Instagram or Facebook. But man, you cannot get them to subscribe to your YouTube channel.
I threatened to, I'm like, hey folks, go subscribe to BODS Mayhem Hour's YouTube page, because if I get I'm up to 600 and something right now, but I'm just like, hey, give me 1,000 subscribers. I'll eat a bologna sandwich and sing without my shirt on, or a Barbie girl or something other without my shirt on. Hey, come on.
Yeah, you gotta give them some sort of incentive, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that 1,000 number. That's what we're all chasing, right?
I've been doing this for 11 years, Clay. And at the beginning, I thought I'll never see it. And I've surpassed that. And it's hard. It's absolutely hard work. People want to see that live, that live footage, as I should say, pre-recorded stuff like that. It blows my mind. But hey, I like interaction. I want people to come on here and have an interaction with us, man. That's what it's about. I want people to feel like they belong here. You know what I mean? I want them to have a home.
Certainly.
Well,
yeah. And that, it's cool. And that's what I dig so much about, podcasting and what people are doing nowadays is, it allows you to almost just sit in on the conversation, and you can watch, yes, you're listening, but also seeing, it might be over a camera, but we're still, interacting with each other. And I don't know, I just, I really dig the whole podcast world and what everybody's doing nowadays. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love this, man. I used to do strictly audio only, and now I've been doing video here for the past couple of months. Well, I wouldn't say months, but maybe almost a year now. And I don't want to go back to audio only. You know what I mean? I like this.
No, I agree. I mean, and from your perspective, the interviewer, you get to, see your interviewee, and it makes it a little bit more personable than just audio over the phone or the computer or whatever.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Cause you can be doing audio and not see the guy, and the podcast could be sitting here going,
that's just it.
So were you guys a little nervous releasing these singles right now, or did you want to get this out there to stay relevant or get more people to come aboard the issue?
I honestly don't think we really thought about it much that way. I think we just thought, we got music and we want to put it out, and singles for whatever reason seem to be the best way to, I don't know how you want to say it, but maximize your releases, I guess, if you want to call it that. So yeah, we were just like, well, we got songs and we have them recorded and stuff, so we're just gonna put them out. We're not a big enough band where the touring cycle and stuff like that really affects our releases. Maybe if we were bigger and it had more of an effect on that kind of stuff, we would have had maybe a little bit different frame of mind. But I also applaud the big guys that said, you know what, screw it, we got music, we're gonna put it out. Like the Foo Fighters, they put out their album, and a few other bands. Like, we're still a band. We still have this music that we want you all to hear. So it sucks we can't sell tickets, but go listen to our album.
It's going to be interesting, and I've said this many times during many of these interviews during this pandemic, that all these bands who tell me that, hey, we've got stuff in the pipe for like 2 albums, 2 EPs, or whatever, multiple things. It's going to be interesting to see when this comes out, if they come out, to see where everybody's minds were compared to after. Hopefully this is over soon. You know what I'm saying? Will these songs see the light of day? And I hope they go back to the old school of double discs. I would love to see that again.
Yeah, it will be interesting, because so many people went into the pandemic with, or I shouldn't say so many people, but a fair amount of people went into the pandemic with, albums they had already recorded that they're planning on releasing prior to the pandemic. And then obviously you go through the whole thing that the pandemic is and what that does to you mentally, and how that might change, certain perspectives or how you're feeling, and certainly change potentially your songwriting. So I'm kind of intrigued to see, from a listener perspective, some of the material that was coming out pre-pandemic, and then stuff that's going to be coming out post-pandemic that was recorded during the pandemic while everybody's going through all these, hills and valleys of emotions.
Look, man, I was in the hospital back in September for almost 2 weeks, and I got to thank God that I didn't get COVID when I was in there. I was scared.
Sure.
Yeah. Not counting what I had to go through, but just, waking up every morning going, I hope I don't get COVID. It was. Yeah.
It's just such a taxing time mentally for everybody, because there's this thing going on, but then you also still have life that never stops. You still have your bills. You still have all these other things. It's like, man, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard spot.
Kind of like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, man.
That's right.
So were these singles that are out right now, were these previously written, or are these all brand new from you guys?
So 2 of the 3 were previously written tunes that, we hadn't released them yet, but they were songs that we kind of had in our catalog that we had been demoing out and working on. That is What You Need in Fallin, and You was a brand new song. So within the past 6 months, we had a new lead guitar player join our band. Collin Johnson is his name. Great guitar player. And he came into the mix after What You Need was out and before we released You. And that was a song that we were doing some demoing on some of these tracks that we had, with him, seeing what sort of flavors and stuff he brought to these songs. And during that process, he started playing the guitar riff for You. And we're kind of like, whoa, we gotta chase that down, and within a matter of, a half hour, we had a new song put together. It just was one of those things, one of those times, every once in a while you have a song where, everybody just fires on all cylinders right off the bat. The guitar came together, the drums and bass came together. I had lyrics and melody that just immediately popped in my head. And, we just kind of pressed record on the phone. You recorded it. We're like, okay, we have the song. And, we had plans on, going in and tracking a couple new tunes. And we're like, you know what? Why don't we do this one right away? as an introduction to Collin in the band. It's some fresh material. It was, it's got good energy to it. So we just decided to release that one right off the bat. And then Fallin, the one we just put out, that one was kind of in our back catalog for a little while. And it really came to life when Collin joined the band. His new different, when you add a different member to the band, their different take on the song and their different playing styles and stuff, can have either a positive effect or a negative effect. And in this case, it was a very positive effect, and it really, kind of changed the way, the feel of the song. And we were working with a new producer on You and Fallin as well. And Ian kind of grabbed a hold of Fallin and was like, hey, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries here, but I think I have some ideas that might make this song better. So we kind of went in and really chopped the song up in the studio. And, between that and Collin's guitar playing on it, it just ended up coming together for a song that we didn't really know what was going to happen with, honestly, at the time. And, lyrics, eventually it took a while for me to get a lyric and melody that I really dug and was cool with. But once all those things came together, it turned out to be a pretty solid tune.
One of those ordeals where you hear through all the music stuff, like it's like catching lightning in a bottle,
That's right.
And what's Collin brought to the band, man, since he's joined? Not to knock anybody else or anything like that, but what's he brought to this band, man? It may have possibly been missing, if anything.
Sure, and none of this is any knock on Avery either, our previous guitar player. We still have a great relationship with us, and he's actually gonna play some guitar with us on the show we have coming up, with Collin still playing with us on stage. But as far as Collin goes and what he brought to the band, he's got some serious chops, and he's very musically inclined. So, even though he has some serious chops, it's more of a knowing when to play as opposed to just playing, if you know what I mean. His feel is phenomenal. He's a drummer as well. So as he plays, in a somewhat percussive sense. And then, like I said, he has some chops. So when it comes to a guitar solo, he can lay down a pretty gnarly guitar solo as well. So it's kind of a combination of those things. Avery was a great guitar player. He had great feel. He was also a drummer that played guitar. But he wasn't as much of a lead guitar player as Collin is. We always talked when Avery was in the band, that it's basically two rhythm guitar players playing in a band together. So that's you can kind of hear that in our songs. There wasn't a lot of soloing, a lot of just riff oriented rock music. And we always wanted that kick-ass solo. In the song, my favorite bands always had, gnarly solos in them. So bringing Collin into the mix with his chops that he has on top of the feel, it just, it seemed to really be a good fit and kind of take the songs in a direction that we wanted them to go.
Man, and I'm not knocking any bands at all whatsoever because I love music with a passion, but man, there's nothing that beats a great guitar solo in a song. Nothing.
You can't beat it. I mean, that makes a song. That'll make or break a song.
Yep, that's exactly right. Are these 3 songs going to only be singles, or are they going to be up on an upcoming EP or an album down the road, man? What are y'all going to do with them?
They're going to be on an upcoming EP. We actually have 3 more tunes we need to finish up in the studio. And then that's going to round out a 6-song EP with the 3 tunes that we just released as singles. And then, we got some tricks up our sleeve as far as content on our YouTube page and potentially like a bonus track of something we've done in the past that's going to go on that EP as well. And then, we're always writing material. So we've been, these 3 songs that we need to finish up are ones that we've already had. We just need to lock those down and get them out basically at this point. But we have a bunch of new material as well that we've been writing since Collin has joined the band. And, that's steering towards the direction of a full-length album.
That was going to be my next question is how much material do you have written so far? Because again, this pandemic gave you guys multiple times to just relax and do your thing instead of being rushed. So how much do you have written so far?
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of stuff. Every time we get together, it seems like a new song comes into play. We get together to rehearse weekly, and usually kind of start out the practice just kind of messing around, getting warmed up and stuff, and it seems like every time we get in a room, lately a new song comes together, so which is a great feeling. And obviously for myself, I'm always writing lyrics and stuff. So I've been writing a ton of lyrics over the course of the pandemic. So as these songs are coming together, it's, I've been doing a lot of reading of my own lyrics throughout the past couple of years, trying to find lines that fit with different songs. And, and then, like I said, a lot of times in the room while the song is happening, lyrics will, come in, whether it's a line for a chorus or a concept, for the verses and stuff like that. So, I hate to put dates and numbers in people's head. Our goal is to have, get this EP out and then also have the full length album out by the end of 2022.
Wow. That's a lot of music, folks. For anybody,
a lot of music.
That's a lot of music, a lot of time, and a lot of want to strangle your bandmate.
It is, but it's exciting to know that that's going on. For us personally in the area that we play, summers are extremely hectic as far as shows go. A lot of outdoor stuff. Everybody's pushing outdoor shows and stuff now, with obviously coming out of the pandemic and stuff. So summers are just crazy. So it'll be interesting to see, with a crazy gigging schedule during the summer, if we're able to pull off finishing the album and having it out by next year. But, like I said, we'll sprinkle singles out, throughout the course of the year from that album. And then, we'll just kind of see how the year takes us, but that's the goal, at least.
What's impressed you or excited you the most about creating the new single Fallin, if anything? What sticks out the most about it for you? I know adding Collin to the mix, but what sticks out for you, man?
Well, I think this is a song that for some reason I always kind of dug, but never really was sure that it was going to be anything. So I think what's excited me the most was seeing the song really take wing and come to fruition, just because there really wasn't that much excitement from it when we had first started writing it in the past. And, we always kind of would go back to it because it was one that we all dug, but for whatever reason, it just didn't seem like it was quite getting there. And then, like I said before, with Collin getting in the mix and working with Ian, producing it, all the stars kind of seemed to align, and the song really came together nicely. And it was inspiring for me for that to happen, because I was struggling so much with how I wanted to attack it, as far as the melody and the lyrics go. So all those things kind of pulling together really reignited the inspiration for that song, and the lyrics and the melody came together in a way that was, it was kind of a hard song for me to write from a personal standpoint, because it was a little bit lighter, a little bit more of a, just a lighter rock song than what we've done in the past. So figuring out how to attack that from a vocal standpoint while also keeping those hard rock elements in the mix was kind of a challenge for me, but it was a challenge that I welcomed. And I think we did a pretty good job, getting it to where it is now. And I think so far the response has been good and people have been digging it.
So would you say, man, it's safe to say that this is, I guess, refueled your fire? Has it made you more, yeah, let's get this shit done? Has it given you more fuel, man?
Yeah, there's something about finishing a song and then, releasing it out to everybody that just, it really lights a fire in you, and it's just inspiring. And it's a good feeling when you spend so much time writing music and then you get it out to people and people dig it, and that just makes you want to do it more. It's you're getting that endorphin hit or whatever you want to call it, that just like, all right, let's keep this train rolling. So, for us, we're all fairly driven individuals. And then as a band, we're extremely motivated. So, it just, anything to keep that flame burning and, make us all want to keep writing music and performing as individuals.
I was working on the video, Fallin, man. Let's talk about that. Let's do that again. How was working on that? Good Lord.
That was fun, man. We've done a couple of videos, but they've been more performance videos, so they weren't really like music videos. So it was fun, like storyboarding and like how are we gonna try and portray what the song is. And then I'm a fan of classic cars, and my older brother, that car that you see in the video is my older brother's 1973 Ford Gran Torino.
That's
just a
car.
Oh, it's just a beautiful car. And I always knew that I just always wanted to do a video with that car in it. And for some reason, I just thought that this song would fit that element, and we kind of drew inspiration from the Audio Slave Show Me How to Live video, those guys cruising around in the classic car.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the idea came from. And we put the issue twist on it, I guess. But yeah, that was a fun video to shoot.
Big brother's like, you scratch my car, I'll break your guitar.
He my brother Colby, he's a super cool guy. He doesn't get too worked up about anything, but I think he would get fired up if that car came home with scratches on it.
You think?
Yeah, that car's insane. That thing only has like 28,000 miles on it. It's like, yeah, that thing is in mint condition.
My all-time muscle car, if I ever hit that lottery jackpot, that I know I will one day. I will. Watch and see, folks. I want a 55 Chevy. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And I want
55.
Yeah, and I want to, deck it out, big tires, big. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I always really dug the Chevelle SS's, like the 67 to 69. I really dug those cars. So I think if I ever got the opportunity to buy a classic car, that would be my go-to.
I saw an old classic not too long ago, back in October, and it's broke my heart. Nice, beautiful car. And for the life of me, I cannot tell you what it was. I got photos of it, but there was rust at the bottom of the car. I was like, oh no.
That's such a bummer.
I was like, I'll save you.
Yeah, nothing beats a good old classic American muscle car, man.
Metal old cars, dude. That's what's that. Yeah.
That's right. Boats, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my first car was like a 84 Ford. What was it? Hell, I can't remember now. It was an old turd boat looking thing, huge.
Dude, they drive like a dream, though.
Hey, I had to stop almost every week at the gas station. The guys knew my name they knew me by heart.
Just to put fuel in it.
There's a V8. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I got me a car. I can go out riding around. No. And you got to put gas in your vehicle and you got to work. That's when shit changes. Like, oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe it's not worth it anymore.
Crown Vic, that's what it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. That'll suck some gas.
Yes, it's awful. I hated it. Hated that car. So, anyway, what do you hope everyone takes away while listening to any of the issues, music in general, Clay? What do you hope they get from it, man?
Man, I hope they just dig some rock and hard rock music. That's just what we're trying to do is just be a solid, tight rock band, and connect with the song on a musical basis and on a lyrical basis. There, it's most of the material is just about life in general. So it's stuff that you can connect to. So I mean, hopefully it connects with you in some sort of way and has a positive effect on your day, or makes you want to go and kick some ass and headbang at a concert or something. That's our thing. We're a live band. We love playing live shows. That's why this whole pandemic was such a bummer for us. But if you get the chance to check us out live, that's our thing. That's what we do. Put on a rock show.
Man, I know that you still have a lot of music still to this day. Even I do. But do you still have a go-to album, or maybe just a song that you find yourself going back to listen to from time to time that you have to have in your repertoire every 2 to 3 weeks, couple months, but you see yourself gravitating back to listen to it all the time?
Yeah. That band for me is Alice in Chains. I always find myself going back to Alice in Chains, whether it's Dirt or Facelift or I just dig all their stuff. Jar of Flies, the Alice in Chains, the self-titled too. I mean, it's all just so good. That was one of the first bands that really made me want to play music, be in a band. So as far as songs go, I'll pick from Alice in Chains. Them Bones. I just love that song. Such a great opening riff and right in your face. It smacks you in the face right off the bat and then keeps you there all the way through.
So let me ask your opinion. I'm a big Alice in Chains fan as well, and I hate that we lost Lane. But what's your opinion, man, on bringing in William Duvall to the mix? Because I think he is a phenomenal singer and he fit perfectly into this group.
I think they found their guy. That's obviously an extremely hard role to come in and fill. Mm-hmm. Lane has such a unique voice and such a powerful voice. And, I unfortunately never got the chance to see them while Lane was still alive, but just from watching YouTube stuff, you can just see, the music pouring out of that guy. So to come in and have to replace somebody like that is a massive role to fill. But I think William was the perfect guy for it. He has the vocal chops. I mean, and his voice has Lane's tendencies. It's not the same, but he has similar tendencies, and it fits very well with Jerry's voice, which is the biggest thing. Jerry's the guy. He's the he's the man. He's the ultimate riff writer, and he's got a killer voice and great harmonies. So I think those two are a great pair, and William does a great job filling that role and performing with those guys.
I'm so glad you said that about Jerry, because I was going to mention that, and a lot of people don't realize that hey, Jerry had a huge part in these songs, not just Lane. They both made these songs ridiculously great. and to still
Absolutely.
and to still hear Jerry be able to play these with Williams' voice, it's like you just shut your eyes, man, and just still see Lane up there singing those songs.
That's so true. And they managed to put out, some great music afterwards with William, I'm having a,
I know the album you're talking about.
From the Dinosaur, it's the Red album with the dinosaurs or whatever. I can't think of the name of it. And then Black Gives Way to Blue. That was another great album. Rainier Fog has some good tunes on it too. It took me a few listens to really get into it, but I dig the material, and I mean, there's still strong songs. But Jerry was always he was a big influence on me, both from a vocalist standpoint and a guitar player standpoint as well. You can't beat some of those riffs that he writes, and he had a big part of writing the songs for Alice in Chains, lyrics and vocal parts as well. So what a just great musician and songwriter.
Folks, if you like music like Smile Empty Soul, Ugly Kid Joe, 7 Mary 3, and even Silverchair, get out.
Hell yeah.
Out The Issue, because you won't be disappointed.
Thank you.
This single Fallin right now they've got out is so good. I like it a lot. And you definitely go out and check it out. So Clay, my man, how can folks stay in touch with you guys? Buy these EPs, these singles, all this stuff for The Issue that's coming down the pipe. How can folks do that?
Well, the best way is, number one, hit our website, theissuemn.com. We have our music available on there. Our Moving On EP, we have physical copies that you can order on the website, and then a ton of merch is up there as well. You can get in touch with us that way. And then, like we talked before, our YouTube channel, we got a lot of stuff that we plan on doing over the course of the winter, in the studio and whatnot. Not only just recording new material, but putting some cool videos and stuff together as well. So if you want to kind of stay in with the band and see what we're doing, our website and our YouTube channel is a great place to start.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Absolutely. What's up, everybody? This is Clay Deters from The Issue, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. And please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link and our YouTube link. You want to definitely get out and check that out. And please subscribe to the YouTube link. Also get out and check out The Issue. Pick up their single Fallin. Also pick up their single You and What You Need. All this good stuff's out there from this band, and please just give them a chance, and you may find a diamond in the rough, folks. Trust me. So, Clay, thank you so much, man, and I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you having me on. Stay in touch.
Will do, sir.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.